Yesterday, yamamu update say oko the United States of America. Bibi air coso. Na the air coso na de na air coso no. Eya di beni nyina yini agye ho. Na oko Congo ene some parts of Rwanda. They've been having a continuous fight for some time now. Ama this particular continuous fighter oma having no akoso. Na President Donald Trump no oba no se dey bi the we anema akoso no omeni enje ho nti opese peace embra between Congo and Rwanda, and yesterday they actually signed a peace deal. But that particular peace deal you almost signing there is a lot of questions about. Now you can share a report from Larry Madowo on CNN for have a Anna Ochemu, same way by how some Africans are even taking it. Some people are saying, say Trump no, or you'll be now or you'll be on your business, or also you're very careful because on no best straight, but we or bit massa then. Obiti masa astabel inti yenko tie insema Larry Madowo reporter odifi CNN hoba babaka we are learning say some deals be so FHA buyers how deals no deal efe rare earth deal sa rare earth no eno yes deal na say Chinese for or many America for edisi nia toko gidigidi. But before then no, let us watch this particular video of how Larry Madowo actually explained and actually brought out this issue about how this whole thing came about, and even what some Rwandans and Congolese what they see in this, and even if peace itself can be achieved as to what Donald Trump is trying to portray.
And you can tell how much President Kagame and President Tshisekedi don't trust each other based on what they said. President Kagame said that if this deal fails, it won't be Rwanda's fault. That these Washington Accords, as they're called, have all the elements necessary to end the war. And then President Tshisekedi, on his part, said that we hope Rwanda can agree to the terms of this deal once and for all. So there's no back and forth about supporting militia groups and essentially reneging what they've agreed on. The two men barely looked at each other. I was watching their body language and they barely shook hands, barely looked at each other. That's how much mistrust there is between these two men.
That is very clear from what I saw as well. There's a lack of trust here, which then begs the question, Larry. I mean, how far-fetched is this deal? I mean, how tangible, let me put it this way, is peace?
This Washington Accord, as they're called, will not end the conflict in eastern DRC. Just this week, 2 days ago, both sides accused each other of sabotaging this deal because there was fighting continuing in 3 parts of the eastern DRC. The Congolese military says they came under attack from the M23, and the M23 in a separate statement said that they'd been attacked by the Wazalendo, which is a militia group allegedly backed by the Congolese government. And so even while this deal is going on, there's no actual peace on the ground. And I was in Goma in September, and I spoke to the leader of the M23 rebel group, Kone Nangaa, and he said they're not a party to this. They wish President Trump all the best, but they don't trust President Tshisekedi, that he is a crook. He used that word, crook. And he's gone back on every deal he signed before. Their intention is to go to Kinshasa and to overthrow him.
There is another element to this, Larry, and President Trump, we played that little clip there, touched on that, and that is economic, right? The US is seeing this, using this as an opportunity to access critical minerals, of which, of course, the US relies heavily from China. Speak to that, the transactional nature here.
That is a criticism in the DRC and in parts of Africa, that the U.S. is not a clean arbiter in this, that it's interested in the rare earths, and President Trump said that they have signed separate bilateral agreements with both Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo to access the critical minerals and the rare earths that exist in this region, this mineral-rich region, that, for instance, the world's largest reserves of cobalt are also coltan. These are critical in the manufacture of everything from electric vehicles to mobile phones, and the world needs a lot of them, and President Trump has not hidden his intentions for that. So that is the subtext here, that people say the U.S. is only doing this because it's interested in those minerals, because there have been previous deals that have failed, and President Tshisekedi and Kagame both said that. There have been many previous attempts by the African Union, in Kenya, in Angola. These didn't work out. So why the U.S.? Why now? They praised President Trump, they praised Secretary Rubio, they praised Masad Boulos, who is his special advisor on Africa, but the critical minerals question cannot be ignored.
Yeah, Masad Bulla saying this is a starting point. We shall see where this leads. Larry, good to see you. And from Zambia, love Zambia, beautiful country. Thanks very much, Larry. Now.
Okay, so this was the report if he Larry Mado ebaye. Now, one aspect so among people share the deal of a rare earth because Trump announced that all these things are air question. It also has economic implications. And one of the economic implications here is the US actually signing a separate bilateral deal with Congo and also Rwanda. Now, if you don't know, Congo and Rwanda, both of these countries are very rich in mineral resources. Okay, Congo is rich in natural resources near there. And one of the most untapped natural resources in the Congo and in Rwanda is rare earth. Now, this rare earth, we will be a rare earth, a femma, and near Africa, I say any baby. But then there's a special type of rare earth, and no. A type of ania, no refiner, utimi, enya ne maybe woma, ye phones, ye airplanes, ye weapons, ye did get a whole lot of fridges near home appliances, and China has a lot of them and has developed a model to process all of these things. The whole world, no, China is the leading producer of what? Rare earth. They produce about 80 to 90% of the whole world rare earth, and the US were a second producer. But then now, because of the trade war between China and the US, US is actually looking for alternatives. So okay, so you need to mean rare earth from China because China they've imposed a ban on it and as they've imposed a restriction on it. What do? We need to look elsewhere. And these form of rare earth, if you Australia, if you US, or if you Africa. But then the thing is the resources, how you been and Trump, any Rwanda, any Congo signing this particular agreement, or I just say they will be actually having this particular kind of agreements. Companies US no Rwanda. Companies on US, on Congo, no matter mining this particular rare earth. In the end, no Congo for Benyeska, Rwanda for Benyeska, na US also in a year or more earth mope. Yanko teen sama Donald Trump edituja in regards with this whole thing. Ye babaka ebetwaso.
Today, the United States is also signing our own bilateral agreements with the Congo and Rwanda that will unlock new opportunities for the United States to access critical minerals and provide economic benefits for everybody. And we'll be involved with sending some of our biggest and greatest companies over to the two countries. And we're going to take out some of the rare earth and take out some of the assets and pay, and everybody's going to make a lot of money.
That was in summer a year US President Donald Trump or the two just said yes. Apart from all of these things, it also has some great economic implications, and these particular economic implications are more have and a media to journal. I just say Odrian Hokrana, Bimoba say Congo, any you're very careful because Trump America and go full on the back door they will try as much as possible and take something from you and also a idea. But then we are also following the issue of this particular peace deal because we don't know if this whole thing will last or not. But then Obineka said it is a step in the right direction. At the end of the day, the air cost.